Ancient Romans were the first to recognize the setting and binding properties of eggs, and they were the ones who created a lot of egg-based dishes, both savory and sweet. Welcome to Jagee's Cookbook. I am going to show you an egg-based recipe, yes, a creme caramel or a caramel custard pudding. So all you pudding lovers, I know this is one of the most popular puddings all throughout the world. Universal favorite it is. And it's there in every restaurant menu in the dessert section because it's easy to make and can be stored till you want it. Now, I'm going to show you my version in Jagee style of the creme caramel or the caramel custard. Now, in Europe, okay, it was the Romans who brought it to Europe, and in Europe, it was the French people who first created and first made the creme caramel or the caramel custard pudding. Now, it's very, very rich custard pudding, which is baked in a water bath and in a caramel lined mold, and it's baked in a very, very slow oven. It can also be steamed, okay? So either way, it is absolutely delicious and velvety. Now, the difference between creme caramel and creme brulee, okay, there are two different puddings, creme caramel and creme brulee, both of it which are French. Creme brulee is nothing but cream and egg yolks. Here in creme caramel, we use milk and eggs. You can use a bit of egg yolks too. But my version is a completely different version and a very, very, very nice take on it because I went through a lot of experiments. I want to show you the best through Jagee's Cookbook, and that's why I experiment and bring you the best. So let's get on with this creme caramel custard or caramel pudding. Now, another thing is I want to tell you is because it was spread throughout the world, different countries have different versions of this particular pudding because it's very popular. Now, in Spain, it's called flan. In Italy, it's called creme caramella. In the Philippines, they have a very rich version called leche flan. Leche means milk. And different, even India, they have a different take on this. They actually add a bit of custard powder. Now, I'm going to show you Jagee style. Different, lovely, and totally good for you. Now, a caramel custard is a very easy pudding to make, but the only thing is you have to be very careful when you actually make the caramel sauce, okay? There is a technique how to make it, and I'm going to show you the easy technique how to make it, okay? Professional chefs do it one way, but I'm going to show you it in a very different way, which is a foolproof method. First of all, we need to heat the milk and the cream. Now, usually in creme caramel, you use only milk, but I'm going to use a little bit of cream, okay, which will give you a very nice, rich custard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring the cream and milk to just boiling point. You don't have to boil it, don't boil it, okay? You need around, first of all, we need around 300 ml of milk, okay? 300 ml of milk, okay? Whole full fat milk. And with this, we need 200 ml of cream, okay? Fresh cream. And that goes. So 300 mils of milk and 200 mils of fresh cream together, we have 500 ml of milk and cream together, okay? Keep this on very low heat, okay? Do not let it boil. Now let's come to the custard sauce. The custard sauce is very easy to make, but you have to follow certain techniques. Do not stir when you actually make the custard sauce. So you don't need a ladle or a spoon. Don't keep anything on your hands. Try to get a pot with a handle so that you can swirl, do a little bit of swirling. Okay, So first what you do is you have to switch on the fire, and we need around half cup to 3/4 cup of sugar, just plain sugar. Okay. Okie dokie. And then professional chefs, what they do is they do not, to make caramel, to caramelize sugar, they do not add water. They just caramelize because they know how to do it. You would not know, or it would be difficult for you. So I am going to show you an easier method. Add a little bit of water, around 1/4 cup of water, 1/4 to half cup of water, and swirl it. Okay? Just keep on swirling it till the sugar dissolves in the water. Do not, I repeat, do not stir with a spoon. If you stir, what happens is the sugar crystallizes and your sauce becomes gritty and horrible. What you need is a smooth and velvety type of caramel sauce, and that is attained only by this method. If you use your spoon, okay, and disturb it, you are going to actually crystallize the sugar. So let it be on high heat, okay, medium to high heat, and let it really burn, actually caramelize. So keep on swirling, okay, and make sure this is coming round about the thing I expect to, okay. Now for this you will need to make the custard, okay, and once the custard is made, then we can do the other things. So now, well, I might as well break in the eggs. I'll just keep this. Now I'm doing 3 to 4 things at a time because I know what's happening. But when you do it, please do things one at a time, because you can burn the caramel. If you burn the caramel, you have to start all over again, because burnt caramel is not tasty at all. It's horrible. So if you actually burn it, you have to start all over again. It should be just golden, okay? Now this is boiling away. By the time, I'm going to just crack 4 eggs in, okay? Okay, now this is going on. I suggest you let it really go up on high heat and really get hot in high heat, okay? Now while this goes on, 4 eggs, okay? 4 eggs in a bowl. Now you can use 4 eggs, or you can use 3 eggs, whole eggs, and 2 yolks, okay? This is 4 eggs. You can actually use 4 eggs, or you can use 3 whole eggs and 2 yolks. That will give you a very rich version, because yolks contain a lot of fat. Into this goes 75 grams of sugar. If you want more, add more. Okay, and keep an eye on both of these. What you do is whisk it, okay? Whisk the eggs and the sugar. You don't have to, put air in it. You don't have to incorporate air in it. Just mix it. That's all. That's it. By the time I need vanilla essence, hold on. Yep. 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, more than enough. 1 teaspoon, okay, of vanilla extract. Mix that. Like I said, you don't need to beat it too much. Just mix it along, okay. And this is about done, okay. It's just come to boiling point. Do not let it boil. Just be warm. Now off it and keep it there. Our whole concentration now is on the caramel, okay? Now keep on, if you have any doubts, keep on swirling, and let it go. Let it really burn in high heat. By that time, I'm going to pour my hot cream and milk into this pourable container. Why? I'll tell you. It's for tempering. Okay. What we have to do is I have to temper this mixture. Tempering means bringing the same the mixtures to the same temperature. That is, this is at room temperature and this is hot. We have to bring the temperature, we have to bring up the temperature of the egg mixture. So we add a little bit of the hot mixture into the room temperature mixture, and that is called tempering. Be careful, keep an eye on your caramel. Okay. A little bit first, just a bit. Mix it. Keep on whisking. You have to keep on whisking, otherwise you're going to cook the eggs and you'll end up with scrambled eggs. And that's not what we need. There. Everything is together. That is to bring up the temperature of the liquid, nothing else. Okay? Now this is roundabout done. It is a golden caramel color. Okay? It shouldn't burn. Okay? If it burns, you'll have to do it all over again. Now you have to be very, very careful of this mixture. Yesterday what I did was I made a caramel pudding and I just checked it with my finger. Stupid me, I checked it and I got a blister on my finger. You can see it actually. I got a blister on my finger. So you have to be very, very careful because this is very, very hot. Okay, very, very hot. All you have to do is pour this onto the baking dish. Okay, now this is a baking dish. Okay, any oven-proof dish. Okay, you can just pour it on the baking dish. There, this is right, correct, perfect. It's like honey. Okay, just like honey. Lovely. Okay, this is done. And it has spread very well. Now, if it's not spreading, if it's stubborn enough and it's not spreading, all you have to do is just swirl it around and it will find its way. Okay? Now, why I kept this in a bigger dish is because I want to bake it in a bain-marie or a water bath. Okay? Bain-marie is just a fancy name, a fancy French name for a water bath. Okay? So carefully, now what I have to do, remember the egg custard mixture? Just pour it on to the caramel lined mold, whichever mold you're using. So when you use when you put it in the oven, you can steam the same thing, you can steam it in a steamer for 1 hour or till it's done. Otherwise, you can bake it in a bain-marie in the oven, and you have to make sure it's in an oven-proof dish and you have a bigger dish to accommodate this, the mold you're going to bake it in. Okay? Pour this carefully. There. Perfect. And now what we have to do is we have to pour some water to make our water bath. Now I have preheated my oven for around 10 minutes, 170 degrees. Okay, and a very slow oven. Now, if we put it in a hot, very, very hot oven, it's going to, scramble and it's not going to be a lovely texture. Now, before we actually put it in the oven, okay, you have to pour some hot water, very hot water, into the bigger pan so that it comes halfway up the mold. It should come halfway up the mold so that it's actually a steaming sort of thing. Okay. Now carefully, now this is very heavy. Okay, carefully with everything together, I am going to put this into the oven. Okay. First, let me carefully Then, and after about 1 hour, 1 hour and a quarter, your pudding, caramel pudding, will be done and we'll be ready for it. Now this took around 1 hour and a quarter, okay, and it is done. I know it. We will exactly see how it's done. Come with me. I forgot my gloves. Okay. Careful when you take it out. Be careful because there is a water bath in it. Switch it off and we'll bring our caramel custard pudding. Is ready. Now what we have to do is take it out of the water bath. Okay, just keep it here and we just don't need this anymore. We'll keep this aside. Now once this is out of the oven, we have to cool this at room temperature for at least 1 hour. Once it's cool, we have to chill it in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 hours. So I'm going to leave this to now because I am working in front of you in the camera. I have to do everything fast forward. So I'll have to hurry things up and wait for this to just cool down and then shove it into the fridge to chill it, and then I'll show you the final product. Now this has cooled down and it's been chilled very fast, okay, because like I told you, I cannot waste time. So what we have to do here is I have to, now this is done properly, okay. All you have to do is with a blunt knife go around the edges carefully because we are going to invert this, okay. We're going to demold this, so very carefully go around. Lovely. And the beautiful caramel sauce is going to flow over this velvety beautiful pudding, and that is why it's called caramel custard pudding. And in France they call it the crème caramel. Okay, so that is done. Just keep it here. And now it's the demolding process, which is a bit scary for me. All I have to do is just, now I have to be careful when you demold it, you have to be careful because there is sauce. It's not like the cake. So you have to be very careful. Whoopsie daisy. And there, wait. There, it's done. Now my caramel custard pudding is inverted and you can see the caramel, okay, and it's really done, perfect. Now this is a little bit shallow. Now if you put it in a bit more smaller dish, it will be a bit more bigger, it will be deeper. So if you want a high caramel custard pudding, you can make it in a deeper bowl. The only thing is that you'll need a bit more of the baking time. Okay, so for you, my caramel custard pudding or my creme caramel, just for you, delicious and velvety.